cracking, party people? It's your girl Nicole Banister, aka NIKKI BANZ, coming to you live once again from Athens, Greece. I do this every single Tuesday, so welcome back to NIKKI BANZ Live!
Here comes the money! Here we go!
What's up, everybody? It is an absolute treat, an absolute pleasure to have you all here today. I know we're an hour earlier today. I know this is not the usual time, but your girl NIKKI BANZ has to be accommodating to all of my guests. My guests live all over the world. Every single week, I'm bringing you the most phenomenal guests from the most phenomenal countries around the world, the dopest people out there, and sometimes they're on different time zones, different schedules, so I gotta adjust. So thank you all for being here early with me today. Like I said, I am still in Greece right now. I've been having the most fabulous Euro trip. These past couple of weeks have been bouncing around Greece and Cyprus, and it's just been so much fun. I'm headed back to Cape Town soon, but today, for now, we still out here in Greece doing our thing. You know your girl NIKKI BANZ like to travel, right? You know I'm always trying to be on a plane, right? Literally always. Oh my gosh, I have to say I'm seeing so many of the squad from Nas Academy here today. We got Dana in the building, worldwide bands. You already know the vibes. We've got my girl Nikki in the building. Okay, Nikki, we see you about to get married. Yes, boo thing, happy wedding. I see Matt Keston in the building, who honestly, there's not many people in life who could match my energy, but Matt's energy is next level. So shout out to Matt, and shout out to every single person here who's here today. Shout out to Mama and Papa Bands. Shout out to everybody who's here. It is an absolute pleasure. Who else is here? We got Jay in the building. This is amazing. I love this. And so I gotta say, one of the reasons why the whole Nas Academy crew is out here repping hard today is because my guest today, the one and only Cass Aragón, is also one of the trainers at Nas Academy. And I have to say, she is guest number six. Guest number 6 that I've had on my show from Nas Academy, okay? Like part of the training crew specifically. So you might remember Borderless Bellic. You might remember Crazy Feet Kavia. You might remember On the Ground with Sai. You might remember RJ Saeed. You might remember Upton Saidi. These are all people who I work with as trainers and facilitators at Nas Academy, and I've had them here on my show. You know, your girl NIKKI BANZ only picks the best of the best, and Nas Academy feels the same. So that's why I've had so many incredible guests from Nas Academy. And also the founder and CEO of Nas Academy, Nas Daily, has also been on the show, which I have to say, shout out to the boy Nasir, aka Nas Daily, who dropped a phenomenal video today about his identity, being Palestinian and having an Israeli passport. A really powerful video, a must watch for everyone out there who wants to know more about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, who wants to know more about it. So definitely check out that video at Nas Daily. Shout out to Nasir for being vulnerable, putting himself out there, and for sharing the story with the world. It's a story that people need to hear. So it's a really powerful one. And with that being said, I've seen so many people coming in. Persian Skater, what's up? Bayan, how you doing, my love? My guest a couple weeks ago. I see Cass is in the building. I'm gonna get you on soon, baby girl. I see Danny I see we got Danny here. Hello, Jerome. Damn, Tori. So many beautiful people. I'm so blessed. Thank you all for being here today. I'm so grateful to have you here. You already know I do this every single Tuesday. I am bringing you intimate, thoughtful, and dynamic conversations with some of the most interesting people on the planet. Whether it is the most famous actor in Nigeria, the dopest rapper in Zambia, a dancer from Kenya, a content creator from Mexico, I'm bringing you a different guest from a different country every single week. And I like to talk about things that are like, you know, like thoughtful things. All the people on the show who I interview have a following. They're all social media influencers, content creators, celebrities in their own right. But the reality is that when you have a following like that, you also have a duty to do something. How are you impacting the world? What are you doing to change the way that people see the world? That's what NIKKI BANZ Live is all about. I see my girl Dana is saying, I never know what I'm gonna get. Exactly, you never know what you're gonna get here on NIKKI BANZ Live. But I have to give one more shout out before I bring Cass on, because I have to be thoughtful about this. Many of y'all have seen online that there is a massive civil war, a massive revolution happening in Iran. Your girl NIKKI BANZ is half Iranian, so I'd be totally remiss if I didn't bring it up and I didn't talk about it. We need you, every single person here on NIKKI BANZ Live, every single person on social media. We need you to be sharing about what's happening in in Iran right now. It is critical. Basically, what has happened is that women in Iran are being oppressed and have been oppressed for years and years and years now, and the country is fighting back. Men and women alike are standing alongside one another, trying to fight back, trying to get equal rights, trying to get human rights, and it's not happening, and the Iranian government is currently crashing down on these people. There have been mass murders across the country of Iran. There have been mass murders at the University of Tehran, killing students, killing young people who are out protesting, fighting for equal rights, for human rights. So please share something about Iran. Please stand with your Iranian brothers and sisters around the world in the same way that we stood together for Black Lives Matter and George Floyd in 2020, in the same way that we stood together around the Sudanese revolution in 2019. I need y'all to step up and say something about what's happening in Iran right now. I stand with my brothers and sisters in Iran, and I need you to do the same. All right, everybody, thank you so much for your support, and thank you for being here. I'm telling y'all, like, we got to talk about serious issues. We can't just have social media platforms and not talk about what's going on in the world. So that's what we gonna do, okay? All right, everybody. I see that Moen is saying, you're full of energy. How do you maintain it? It comes from within, baby. It's that inner glow. It's that inner glow. I love talking to the people. And so I got to have energy. And I have to have energy for my guests. So like I said, my guest today is the one and only Cass Aragón. Cass is everything, y'all. Like, literally everything. How do I even describe this girl? She's a surfer. She's a content creator. She's a photographer. She's a dancer. Like, any job you can ever think of, like any ever in life, this girl has had this job. She has worked on cruise ships. She has taught classes. She's a Zumba instructor. Like, what in the world does this girl not do? Truly, truly. And I'm so excited to talk to her because she has such an interesting background, such an interesting identity, such an interesting story. And so I'm so excited to have her on. We've been trying to set up this interview for months, I'm telling you, and it finally worked out today. But she got calls before and after. This girl is booked and busy. I'm telling y'all, she's an all-star at Nas Academy, and I'm so blessed to have her on the show. So, you know, at Nas Academy and your girl NIKKI BANZ, we love our little sound effects. So I'm gonna give you a little drum roll, and I'm gonna start our interview now with the one and only Cass Aragón. Let's get it.
What an introduction! My goodness, I feel blushed right now.
You should be blushing. You're a star, my love. Una estrella tan brillante.
We're mirrors, Nikki. We're mirrors. Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you so much for inviting me, and thank you everyone for tuning in. This is very exciting because, as you said, we've been planning this for months, and now finally we made it. Yay!
I know, finally. And I'm so glad you're here. You are so much energy. You are so much fun. Like, I feel like if we were ever in the same place, if we ever lived in the same place, we would just be best friends. Like, honestly.
I know, we need to meet soon. I'm like, every time I see that all the trainers from Nas Academy are together, and I'm like, but it will happen eventually. I know it will.
I know. One day, for sure. And I have to say shout out to all your fans, everyone who's here. I know that most of your content online is in Espanol. This is going to be in English today. I hope people are okay with it. You know what? I do speak Spanish, but I don't think I'm confident enough to have the whole interview in Spanish. Maybe one day, Cass. Not today, but one day.
Of course, yeah.
Oh my goodness. So, okay, I already said this in the live, but I just want to bring it on. I know we got like 20 people on here. We got more people joining by the second. So, Cass, I always like to start the show by saying how I know the people who are on my show, how I know my guests. And so you and I know each other from Nas Academy. We're both facilitators. We're both trainers. You want to learn about content creation. You want to talk to your favorite content creators, learn all the tips and tricks in social media, and we have got your back. And that's how we met. But it's funny because we've never had a class together. Like, we've never hosted together.
No, we haven't. But you know what? It's really cool because all the trainers from Nas Academy, we get together every Monday. So we are kind of like we meet together once a week, even though we haven't teach together. I feel that I know you already because we follow each other, and then we speak every Monday, but we haven't. But it's cool. Imagine, oh my God, imagine a class with you and me. It would be fire. It would be so much good.
It would be wild. Honestly, like, I think the Zoom room might just crash. Like, too much energy, too much good vibes.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, yellow team present. We have students present. That's so cool. Sammy! Woohoo!
Oh, what's up, Nas Academy students? Oh my gosh, I love that. Cass, you're just like such an all-star facilitator that your students are like ride or die. They're coming with you, even in class, out of class, IG live, everywhere.
Yeah, thank you
Oh
for
my,
joining us.
amazing. I see Matt is in the chat saying
Oh,
it
Matt
would
is
crash.
here. Our boss is here. He's like, no, it's not happening. It will crash.
Exactly. The internet can't even handle it, but I love it. I love it. Oh my goodness. Okay, girl. I have so many things I want to talk to you about. So many things I want to ask you. But I think one of the things maybe I'll start off with, because you've had such a diversity and dynamism of careers. Like you've literally done so many different things in your life. Like what how do you even describe yourself to somebody new that you meet? Like if somebody is like, who are you and what do you do? What do you even say?
So because I do so many things and it takes so much time to explain, sometimes I choose this and sometimes I choose another thing. Unless I really, really have the time and I like the person, I will explain everything. But I do a lot of things. So first of all, I'm a trainer at the Nas Academy, right? I'm also a teacher. I teach Spanish to Brazilians and Portuguese to Spanish speakers. I am also a photographer, so I take surf pictures mainly to surfers. I'm a dancer as well. I'm a Zumba instructor, and I used to work in hotels in my hometown doing shows. I'm an MC as well. I used to work on cruise ships as an MC entertainer, like getting everybody dancing and having fun and stuff. What else I do? What else I do? Oh, I think that's it. Oh, and I surf, but that's a hobby. I'm not like professional or anything. That's a hobby. And I'm currently traveling on my VW bus, which is called La Lupita. And I am in the Baja California Peninsula in Mexico, creating a lot of content with my van and traveling with my friends. It's been hectic, but I'm loving it. It's been amazing so far. So that's more or less what I do. So when someone asks me, I'll just say, oh, I'm a Portuguese teacher. Or I make videos. Or I'm like, I'm a photographer. Like I'll do it like fast and quick instead of explaining all of this.
Right. You just like say the one thing. You're like just a little snippet depending on like what the context is. Oh.
Yeah, depending on the person, because there's some people like show a lot of interest. Like, oh, but what type of videos make? Like, oh, well, I'm a content creator. I make content for other pages and I make content for myself. What do you mean with content? Are you a blogger? Yeah, I'm kind of a blogger, but I do more than just to be a blogger. They're like, oh, they look confused, and I'm like, okay. And I feel that they still like feel like, why is she doing it? Like they don't understand, but like, what? What can I do?
Exactly. You're like, you're just gonna give them like a little taste, and if they don't understand, you're like, it's fine. Don't worry. I make money. I travel the world. I look good doing it. It's all good. Like it's good. Oh my goodness. So Cass, like how have you been able to do so many different things? Like, do you feel like you get some sort of a passion and then you just follow it and see where it goes? Or have you always just been someone who's liked many different things? So you were like, I don't want to do one. I'll just do it all.
Well, I think there's a lot of things that make me this, but first of all, I'm very independent. Like my mom raised me on her own without my dad, and I looked at her working to like support both of us. So I started working when I was 14 because I wanted to go to the movies, I wanted to go to the beach, and my mom couldn't do that for me, like couldn't give me money. So I was like, I'll take my own money. So I grew up very independent. She's a very strong woman, so I grew up with that image of her, right? Like of working, that doesn't need anyone to support her daughter kind of thing. So I was like, okay, I'll work for my things as well. So, and also having the freedom. She's very free. Like she always gives me confidence to do whatever I want, to travel, to go, to be, to say, to think, just having that freedom that I can be whatever I want with my mom, so I can show that to the world.
Wow.
That's one thing, being independent. Secondly, I think is the thrive and the passion. Like I'm very I wouldn't say hyperactive, but I really want to see everything. I really want to do everything I can with like this short amount of time that we have in this dimension in life, in the world, with this body that has been borrowed to me. I believe that. So I have this passion to do a lot of things, right? So I try. It's hard because I cannot focus on one thing. I my attention is divided between a lot of things, so I try my best. It's not always, I'm not perfect, but I try. Yeah. It's the
Mm.
drive, it's the passion. And then I think another thing, it's like I have no fear, or I have the courage. I mean, fear
Wow.
exists. I feel that everyone has fear because we're all human, but I still do things with fear. Like I get over it and I do it anyways.
Mm. Mm.
And another thing is intuition. Like I'm a Scorpio, so I always follow my heart and my hunches, and
Uh-huh.
that has worked for me so well with my work life, with my personal life, with my travels, with everything. I follow my intuition, and thankfully so far it's been like good. So I
Wow.
think those things are the ones that, yeah.
Yes, Cass, you better go ahead and tell the world I have no fear. She was straight up like, I have no fear. Like, what a powerful, amazing thing to be able to say, to be able to so deeply trust yourself, your passion, your truth, like your inner truth, so deeply that you can say, like, even though I have fear about certain things, I move through it and I keep continuing on. That's something that I think is like so difficult for so many people to embrace. And I have to say, shout out to you, Scorpio. I'm also Scorpio, Scorpio season.
Yes. When is your birthday?
So my birthday is November 22, which is crazy because a lot of people, it's like right on the cusp, like right on the cusp. I went to an astrologer, like an astrologist in Egypt, and she told me, like, she like looked at my birth chart, where I was born, what time, and she said something crazy, like I was like 14 minutes away from being a Sagittarius, but I made the cut for Scorpio.
Well, I'm kind of the same, but for Libra, because I was born in October 26th, and I think it's on the
Oh,
23rd or 23rd, right? So, I mean, not minutes, but some days.
wow. See, like right on the cusp. And I think when
Yeah,
you're
so
on the
it's my
cusp,
birthday month.
yes, it is your birthday month. Happy birthday to you. Hey, happy birthday to you. Woo! See, we're kicking off your birthday month with this interview. See, this is why it got delayed for so long. This was the month.
Yes, it's true.
But honestly, I think like you saying that you trust your intuition, you trust yourself, you move through things boldly, even though you have fear, that's such a powerful reminder for so many people. And it seems like your mom, who was so comforting and so fearless, like really helped you with that, which I think is just like so incredible. And I want to talk a little bit more about like sort of how you identify and your life and your lifestyle, because I think like one of the things that you always see on your social media pages is that you identify as like mexilera, so like Mexican, brasilera. Talk to us about that identity, why you define yourself in that way, and sort of how you move through the world with that identity, that sort of cultural context specifically.
Okay, so mexilheira is a, a word like Mexican and Brazilian, like in Portuguese. So I'm kind of both. I have no Brazilian blood. I have no family from Brazil. But when I was 20 years old, I was studying university, and I've never left Mexico. I've never left the country or traveled anywhere. But I had a thrive of speaking Portuguese and dance samba. Okay, I really wanted to do that. So I was watching a documentary with my mom about samba schools, and I was like, "Oh, mom, I really want to dance in the carnival. I want to dance samba. I want to learn another language. I'm gonna try to find a scholarship and go to study in Brazil." And I made it. I found a scholarship. I went to Brazil, and I lived there for a year when I was 20 years old. So I was a baby. Like I had no idea what was life. So it was my first time ever leaving my country, speaking another country, and not like a cultural shock. Even though we're Latin America, it's still very different. So that year, I grew so much. I learned Portuguese. I learned how to dance samba, and I danced in the carnival in the parade. I was
Wow.
the only foreigner in the parade. It was like, it's like not something common, right? But that was my goal. I wanted to learn Portuguese and dance, and I made it. So I felt so connected to Brazil in a way that I thought that in my past life I was Brazilian, or I had a, you know, I just had this connection. So every time, like, Brazil, it feels like my second skin, like my second home. And I also, because I started working on this language school, I was giving so many tips to Brazilians to learn Spanish. Then they opened the Portuguese for the Spanish speakers. So I started to make a lot of content for Brazilians about like things I loved from Brazil, like how do Brazilians think about Mexico. And I started to make a lot of videos, and people started identifying me as like the Mexican Brazilian girl. Also, when I was in Brazil, like they realized like a lot of like exchange students, they remain within the other exchange students,
Right.
but I didn't. I went to the favela. I went to every place. I made Brazilian friends. I lived with a Brazilian family, so I really embraced the culture. I was not just there for party. So I feel now that I'm part Brazilian. So that's why I'm Micheleira.
Yes. Wow. Okay, I was always super curious about that and why you identified in that way. And how beautiful for you to go to a brand new country, a place you had never been before, and to feel so deeply connected and rooted to that place, to its culture, to its dance, to its language, to its food, to its people. And I feel like that's such a special experience. I would say I had a similar experience when I went to Egypt, actually. And when I went to Egypt for the first time, my physical body felt different. Like there was something
Connected.
There was something stirring inside of me that had never ever been touched before. And I was like, exactly. I was like either a past life or some ancient ancestry. There is a deep-seated connection
100%.
to this place, you know? And so how incredible that you were able to experience that.
Yeah, and I feel that everybody has that. I feel that if you travel around the world and you feel connection, I feel that you maybe in your past life you've been in that country, or you have loved the person from the country or whatever, because it's a connection that you cannot explain. You have to live it, you know?
Right. And what I'm
So
picking
maybe
up from go ahead.
maybe you were Egyptian in your past life.
Exactly. Literally. It's either that or I do have some 4,000, 10,000-year-old Egyptian roots that I'm connected to, you know? And I'm seeing someone in the chat, Michaela Sling, saying that feeling is great. And then she also had that connection in Brazil. So that's so special, so incredible to see that synergy. And so, okay, one of the things that I'm picking up from you, Cass, you're talking a lot about like intuition. You mentioned things like past lives. Girl, let's talk about your spirituality, girl. Like, what are you into? Like, what is your wellness? What is your spiritual and energetic routine? I would love to talk to you about that because you're dropping some buzzwords that are making me think that you got a little woo-woo, a little bruja things going on.
What you don't know is that I'm a witch. Now I'm just kidding.
I know. I was like, brujas for life.
Brujita. Well, I studied in a Catholic school for most of my life because it was a very good school, but I never felt that I was not that I don't believe in God, but I never felt a connection with the habits of the religion, like going to mass and like praying and all these kind of things. I do believe that there's a God. I don't know how to name it. I don't think anybody in the world knows the real name. I think everybody has a name for it. Either it's Buddha, Allah, Muhammad, whatever they want to call it. If they call it energy, if they call it universe, I call it universe. And I believe in energy and in karma. So that's why I try to be as kind as I can with people, because I believe that it's karma that will go back to me. And I believe the universe, and if I have good energy, I will attract good energy back. I try to do yoga as much as I can because I believe it's a work in, not a workout. And I just believe in energy. I think that's the thing. I believe in energy, and good energy and bad energy that can be transformed. That makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. And I love that you're talking about energy. I love that you are sort of connecting the dots globally around how people can sort of believe different things, but still sort of all believe in something, right? Like at the end of the day, people believe in something, like exactly what you said, whether it's God, it's Allah, it's Buddha, it's Vishnu, it's just chi, whatever it is. And I also think that energy is like a give and take. I feel like energy never goes away. Energy never dies. It's never eradicated. It just transforms into new and different things. And it's one of those things where I could feel people's energy, like from the jump, the very first Nas Academy Zoom call we ever had, my first one. I was like, oh, this girl Cass, I'm just getting some energy there. I see the good vibes. And you can just tell when people have that kind of energy, and it seems like you're really able to tap into that.
Yes, definitely. Also here someone saying, Sammy, Kaz also cares a lot about the environment. I try to take care of it as much as I can because, as I said, it's karma. I think karma exists. So if I'm good with Mother Earth will give me and that's why I'm in nature most of the time, because I take care of her so much. I try my best. I know I'm not perfect. I have 2 plastic cups here that I don't know why they brought me this. I'm like, why you brought me plastic cups? But, that's why I say I cannot be, like, nobody can be a perfect environmentalist. We need a lot of imperfect environment. Oh, this is a hard word. Environmentalist.
You got it. But I'm with you. It's like we all have to play our part, right? We all have to do these small things, these little things to make the world a more inclusive place, a place that will last, not just for us, but for our children, for our children's children, for our great grandkids, And it's like if we don't do these little things now to take care of Mother Earth, like you said, then what are we even doing? And this is one of the things I love about all of your pages, all your content. You are always in nature, whether you're in the ocean or you're posting up on some palm trees. You are always I see you're outside right now, like on the live, you're outside,
Well, I'm in a palapa.
But I think that's beautiful that you have such a strong connection to Mother Earth, which is actually very interesting thinking about this journey that you're on right now with La Lupita and your van, because you've literally given up a home, an apartment, a physical space, and you are just using a confined space, just using this van to travel around, to live your life. Talk to us about how you got the idea to live out of your van and how's it going?
Okay. Well, I got the idea. Well, we all have Instagram and we see beautiful pictures of van life, right? Like people waking up with the sunrise and in the beach and stuff. That is real, but there's also so much behind it. But the first idea came when I traveled to Costa Rica last year. I met this amazing woman, and I met a lot of van livers, and I thought, oh, that looks really cool. Like, I would like to do it one day. And then I met this girl, and she traveled from California to Costa Rica with her dog, with her 8 surfboards, and I was like, and she was in her 40s, and she was so brave, and she was like, yeah, I traveled Central America, and I was like, wow, if she can do it, I can do it too. And when I came back to Mexico from Costa Rica, I started looking for cars. I was originally looking for a 4x4 or a CRV, like a truck, more than a combi. Like, we call it in Mexico combi, but it's a VW bus. And then my mom sent me this beautiful VW bus, and I was like, oh, that's so cute. That's really cute. And they brought it to my house so I could see it and drive it and all that. I didn't end up buying that VW bus, but 6 months later, because it really took me so much time to find the right one, because I wanted a specific engine, because I wanted a specific year. I wanted it very specific because I spoke with so many people that did that, and they gave me these recommendations, like this engine, this, that, blah, blah, blah. So I finally, actually, she found me. Like, the guy wrote to me on Facebook, hey, I have this van, you want to buy, you want to take it out? I was like, okay, this looks like they're a very good option. So I bought La Lupita in November last year, and she was white. She had no personality. She didn't even have seats, not even seats. Yeah, crazy. I left her a month in the mechanic which one is like out of like fell from the heaven, this guy like amazing with engine like VW engines. And then I brought it to my hometown, and then with another guy I started building it. Like I built it how like in my like how I thought like it would be, like the spaces and the colors, and I wanted her to be pink because the pink that it has right now, which sometimes looks like red but it's not red, it's pink. It's called Mexican pink. That type of skin is called Mexican pink, like rosa mexicano. Yes. So I was like, I want her to have her own personality and for people to know that I'm from Mexico. Okay, I wanted to yell Mexico, and it took me so long because the guy that helped me actually kind of like didn't work well. There's so many things that need to be fixed and stuff. I learned so much from that experience. And then I started a new job. I wanted more money, so I started working in real estate to like get more money. And then I didn't like it at all, so I like quit it. And then I was like, okay, now I can travel. Like I don't want to work in this anymore. And then I finally like, okay, finally I'm gonna start my journey. It took me a long time because I was honestly, I had fear. Like I had fear, like, am I gonna fit? Where I'm gonna park? What if someone comes by night when I'm sleeping? I had that fear, but I was like, I have the van. I have it already. I need to start. I want to start. She's calling me to start. And then all these things happen in my hometown. Like I was without brakes 3 times without brakes. Then the tire, then like so many little things. But I feel that needed to happen in my hometown. And I needed to learn from that. I also took a mechanics course to learn how to fix it myself if I can. And now it's been amazing. Like it's been like nothing. Like she's doing great. Like wow. Like, and such a fun thing is that I'm traveling with 2 friends. They didn't know each other, but they both have great energy. I knew they were gonna get along well. And we live, the 3 of us, in such a tiny space. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, it's such a mess, whatever. Then we clean it. I'm like, it's cool. And they're so great friends that I'm having like the time of my life. I'm having struggle with like internet and stuff because I need to hotspot my computer, and then the battery dies and I need to like fix it, and like, so that's why today I decided to come to a place like to connect, to have Wi-Fi and stuff, and so I can like not stress about having the internet issues and things. But it's definitely been such a journey, such a growing experience, because I overcoming my fears and I'm learning new things. I didn't know how to change a tire. I didn't know how an engine worked at all, and now I can fix it. And it's interesting. It's like it's new learnings. We come to this life to learn, like, and my favorite quote, my favorite philosophy is traveling is the best school, because by traveling I'm learning so many things that they never told me in school, from small things like war, like when I went to Germany and I learned about the war, like the worldwide, like in the school they didn't tell me that, right? Or mechanics, or how to overcome if someone comes, like, I don't know, like traveling for me is learning, is the best school.
Yes, I agree with you 100%, Cass. And I just want to reiterate, like, for everyone who's watching this live right now, this woman I'm speaking to lives in a van. Like, let me just make that clear. Like, she is traveling around the world in a van. And when it breaks, she has to fix it. And there's 2 other people in the van with her. Like, this girl is not playing games. Like, Cass, it is actually incredible what you're doing. So let me quick plug. If you're not following Cass yet, go to the top of your screen, click the little white arrow in the middle of the screen. You can go and follow at Cass Aragón. So make sure you're following her, because she has all these awesome videos and photos of her and La Lupita and the struggles and the successes and all the things. If you're not following me yet, then you need to be following me too, at They Call Me Banz. Go ahead and give me a follow as well. But it's actually incredible. I mean, you didn't say, when I asked you earlier, how do you describe yourself? You didn't say mechanic, but I think you should have, because you have
my God, I need to tell you something. This is so funny. Okay, so we were parked in the beach, and then this guy came. He's like, "Hey guys, do you have tools? Because our van broke and we just need to change the battery. And I was like, oh yeah, of course I have tools. Like before coming, I bought like a badass, you know, big box with like a lot of tools that I still don't know how to use yet, but I'm like finding out. And then I was like, yeah, I'll help you. So I took it out. I take my you know, my pinzas, my thingies, and I was like, and I changed their battery. And then he was like, can I buy you a coffee? And I was like, yeah, for sure. Like, I would like coffee. And like he gave me 400 pesos, which is like $20. I know it doesn't sound like a lot in dollars, but in pesos, 400 is a lot. It's like half of my tank, right? And I was like, oh my God, no, this is too much. And he's like, thank you so much. And I'm like, I do it because if this happens to me, I would like someone to help me as well.
Right.
And he gave me money, which I was not expecting. I was like, this is too much. And he's like, no, please take it. And I'm like, okay, like if life gives you, just embrace it. I was like, okay, thank you so much. And it was honestly super easy to do. I just like took out just 2 little thingies, and it was very easy. But then I came back with my friends like, oh guys, I earned 400 pesos. Like,
yes, but you deserve it, because honestly, 6 months ago you couldn't have done that. You wouldn't have known how to turn those little screws to like change the engine in there. You didn't know. Like, it's truly been a learning process and journey. Like you said, travel is growth. Travel is learning. Like, literally, I'm from the United States. I live in South Africa. I'm in Greece right now. Like, traveling is the way to go. Like, it's honestly, it's that exposure to new experiences, new perspectives, new cultures, new lifestyles. And those are the best lessons right there. You'll never learn that in school. You'll only learn that like in life.
girl, you're living life, dude. Like living in South Africa and Greece. Like, what are you talking about? You're living life.
Girl, I honestly, I feel like the reason why I interview people like you is because we are kindred spirits. Like, you are traveling the world in a van. I'm like traveling to all these random places I would have never thought of or known before. And it's like so beautiful to be able to connect with people. This is one of the things I love about social media, right? We can connect like this. We can connect on an IG live. Like, you know, we can connect on Instagram, follow each other, support, like watch YouTube videos. You know, it's like how beautiful that like we can be in places like completely different countries in the world, completely different parts and walks of life. And here we are connected. Like it's that energy exchange. It's that karma, like just being able to connect with the most beautiful people. So it's been a tremendous journey, which I'm sure like for you, it's also been an insanely tremendous journey.
I agree with you. That's one of the things I love from social media. The people, always the people. And in real life as well. Like the trip is a trip because of the people that make it. And the locals have been so helpful as well. Like people, finding good people is like, yeah.
Yes, that's the dream. That's the dream. And I think it's cool because, you know, you have really big followings across all of your social media pages. Your YouTube page is fantastic. Your TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, you have different followings where you share so many different elements and aspects of your life. You know, you invite us not only into the journey of La Lupita, but into your Zumba videos, into your Nas Academy life, you know, into all these things. And it's really cool to see how you're able to share those elements of your life. Why did you decide to start creating content and sharing all of your journeys with the world?
Okay, so this is funny because I first started traveling and then I started creating content. So when I started traveling, well, I was inside Mexico and then I finally went to Brazil and then I made money and then I went to Europe and I shared all this with my close friends on Facebook, right? And before the bloggers didn't exist. That didn't exist at the time, right?
Yeah.
But I was doing that for my friends and once I asked them, hey guys, who is your favorite travel blogger or whatever, and they said me, and I was like, yeah, I haven't think about it. I'm kind of like a travel blogger but a petite, you know, with my close friends. So I was like, I need to share this with the world. So I started creating I created my YouTube channel. It started up slow, then it went good, and then I started working on cruise ships and I started creating content, like cruise ship content, because I loved it so much at the time. And this is something I always tell people, like before being a blogger or before being a content creator, I am a traveler. I didn't start creating content and then traveling. No, and
yes.
I started first traveling, I love it, and then I create content about it. And I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that people do now that want to be influencers is that, oh, I want to be an influencer, but I don't know what I want to talk about. No, you need to first love what you will talk about, be good at it, and then create content about it. So before being a blogger or a content creator, I am a traveler. And if I am, and this is a rule that I have to myself, if I'm not enjoying the moment because I'm blogging or filming or anything, I'll stop. Because for me, it's not worth to lose the moment because of a shot. So sometimes that's why I stop creating content for a little bit, because I need a break. And then I reload, and then I start creating content again. And those breaks are good because you cannot be so much on screens all the time, because you're in nature, right? You need to enjoy nature and enjoy the moment and enjoy the people as well. So that's one of my rules, and that I am a traveler before a blogger.
Again, that's like a really powerful reminder, especially since you do work with so many companies and with so many content creators out there, right? It's like you can just like be an influencer, just like be an influencer. It's like, what is your passion? What do you care about? What makes you excited? And how can you create a virtual lifestyle on social media that people can then resonate with, you know? And I think people can tell the difference between people who just like make videos or take pictures just for likes, or just for, you know, to get a big following. It's different than the people who actually really take the time and energy and effort to do what they do. And then it's like, we feel more connected to you. We feel like, wow, okay, this is what happened today with La Lupita. Like, okay, cool. Like, oh, wow, this is what went down in the Zumba class, you know, today, right? It's like, we can really connect with you because it's like, we're just getting glimpses into your everyday life. It just happens to be put together in a very nice reel.
A very nice reel. Yeah. Also, another of my rules is to always be 100% transparent and honest with the audience, because that's what I like to see in social media. I don't like to see fake people. So I try my best to tell everyone my mistakes and tell everyone what goes wrong. People that follow me here know that I forgot to put gas on the van last time. So I was in the road without gas, and then they have to told me, is that? Yeah.
Yes.
They had to told me because I
saw
forgot
that.
to put gas. And, you know, mistakes are real and are honest, and that's my rule. I will always try to be as transparent as I can with people.
Yes. And I think that has to be like rule number one for folks. Like, just be your honest self. And I remember actually one of the content creators that I work with at Nas Academy, Catriona Gray, who's Miss Universe 2018 from the Philippines, she said the exact same thing, Cass. She was like, I literally will post pictures of me on social media with no makeup. I will post pictures of me like just hanging out with my parents. She was like, people need to see the real me, not just the social media me or Miss Universe me that people are so used to.
Wow, that's big, coming up from like a queen, you know, like universe queen. Yeah, right. I agree. I post myself. I don't use Instagram filters that much unless they're like funny, because like I want to show my real skin. Look, I have a pimple. This is normal. This is normal. It's because of the sun, you know. It's yeah, man. We need more people like that on the internet.
100%, which is why we're so lucky to have you, boo, because you just give it to us. You give it to us real.
And you as well. You too. We're mirrors. Remember that.
We truly are, which I love. And okay, so I'm looking at the time. We have about 15 minutes left of the live. For anyone who has a question for Cass, what I want you to do is go to the bottom of your screen, click on the little thought bubble with the question mark on it. Click on that and you can type a question for Cass. Sometimes in the comments, if you put a question there, it just goes too fast. We can't be following all that. So the little thought bubble to the right-hand side with the question mark, click on that and you can type a question for Cass. The last 10 minutes, I'll ask all of your questions. Todas de sus preguntas, please put them in there, okay?
I saw some people on the chat that they asked some stuff, but I think they got lost. So don't forget to put it in the little bubble so they don't get lost.
I know, that's the thing. They'll just get lost because the chat just moves so fast. So it's like the question section is nice because then we can focus on it. And so, I think so. I'm gonna ask like 2 more questions before I pass it over to everybody else. One thing that I really, really think is cool about you is like you just seem to be like so comfortable with your body. You're always outdoors, you're always surfing, you're just posting all these videos and pictures of you just like out. And I have to say, as someone who also has a bunch of tattoos, I love your tattoos. And I just want just tell me a little bit about like some of your favorite tattoos, because I just like I'd be looking on Instagram, I'm like, oh, is that new? I'm like, oh, I like this one, and I know you have a lot. Like you have quite a few. So talk to us about some of your faves. As a fellow tatted person,
Okay,
I need to know.
Okay, so my rules with tattoos is that every tattoo has come from something I learned on a trip, right? On my travels or in life, right? So for example, I'm gonna show some skin. Okay, you can see here in my leg, you can see there's a heart and some nature. This is my biggest tattoo, and it's very important to me because I've had 2 knee surgeries in my knee, and they're one of the most one of the hardest things I've had to overcome. So this heart is a reminder of how strong my leg is if I want to, because it's been through 2 surgeries, and I think I'm gonna have to have a 3rd one because it really hurts sometimes. I'm not sure, but this is a reminder that I can have strength in this leg. Like I have to, be strong from this leg. Another one, I have one here, like in between my boob. This is
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. This one was made in Oaxaca, in the south of Mexico, because Oaxaca was the first place I traveled in ever in the world, ever. This one is from Bali because I also overcome something. When I traveled to Indonesia, I got stolen like half of my budget, and the Balinese flower means wisdom. So I wanted to have something that reminded me of Bali and Indonesia and of the wisdom and all that I've learned, that I can overcome those things, and I overcame losing half of my budget. My God, I have so many tattoos. I want to tell them all, but it will take so long. But these are my 2 favorites. Well, this one as well. These are Ray. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites because I freaking love the ocean. I want to be a marine biologist, actually. Yeah, I love eagle rays are my favorite. They're so beautiful, and once I saw like 100 of them, like literally 100, like in school, not the eagle ones, but like 100 rays together, and it's like that moment, like it blew my mind. And I think those are the moments that's why I want to take care so much of the environment, and that's why I also stopped working on cruise ships, because now I didn't know at the moment, but now I know how harmful they are for the ocean. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna quit this job that I really love, that pays me really good, and that make me travel, because I need to take care of what I love. It doesn't make sense, It's like, yeah.
Wow. Okay, well, I'm so thankful for you. Thank you for giving us a little like up close and personal inside scoop on the ink, because I've always been super curious about it, and to hear how each of your tattoos really connect to a different period of your life, a different part of your journey, a different part of your resilience, overcoming certain, things or certain things that you've witnessed on your travels. That's so beautiful. And so, I had a feeling you was gonna have some good stories around the tattoos. That's what I want to ask on this live, because I always wanted to know.
We need to make another live just to talk about tattoos.
I know. Well, maybe that's like a new reel idea for you. You can just go through each of them, say what they are. So maybe that'll be something new coming soon, y'all.
Definitely.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I see that the chat in the question box, we've got a couple questions now. So I'm going to ask you some questions from some of the fabulous people who have been tuning on to the live. Thank you again, everybody. If you are here right now on Instagram Live, if you're watching the rerun on YouTube, thank you for being here on NIKKI BANZ Live, for joining me, Nicole Banister, with the one and only Cass Aragón. This is just like such a fun and vibrant conversation, and I'm just loving every second of it. So the first question I will ask you, I will take this one from our fearless leader and boss at Nas Academy, the one and only Matt Keston, is asking beaches or mountaintops?
Beaches, yeah, beaches for sure. But sometimes I like taking a break from the beach and then go to like ice. Like when my first contract on the cruise ship, I worked for 9 months in the Caribbean, and then I went to Iceland. I went to
Polar
Iceland
opposites.
on winter, and it was my first time in the snow, so it was interesting. But that's what I like. I like a lot of beach, boom, 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 beach, 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 and like mountain and ice. That's what I like.
It's all about, that balance we talked about earlier. It's like beach, beach, beach. Okay, ice overload. But yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'm beaches all day, every day. My friends in Cape Town know, like when they're like, oh, we're going to go for a hike. I'm like, nope, I'll be at the beach. Bye.
Definitely.
Oh, definitely. Okay, and then let's see. So I have a fun question here about La Lupita. This is from Manu Espin. Manu is asking, how much money do you spend on average per day on your La Lupita trip?
Ooh, per day is hard to say because, for example, the tank, it fills up with almost 1,000 pesos, which is $50, but it lasts a lot. It's these vehicles are very, and even I put the premium gas. These vehicles don't spend that much gas, and I'm not parking in camping sites. I'm parking right on the beach, so I don't have to pay hostels or stuff like that. Then I went to supermarket and bought like milk, cereal, chickpeas and stuff, like, and we cook. I have like a little stove with gas, and we cook in the van. Sometimes we go to restaurants if we wanna, but Mexico is cheap, man. Like a expensive plate would be $10 or 15. Like $15 would be like, ooh, this is super expensive, Mexico is very I'm not gonna say cheap. Mexico is affordable. So it's hard to say per day, but yeah, maybe $20, something like that. $20, so everyone can understand. $15, maybe less. Yeah, it's not expensive. No.
I think that's super helpful context, maybe for people who are trying to follow in your footsteps. They want a little La Lupitita of their own, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's not the same traveling in a van in Europe or in the United States than in Mexico. And a lot of people ask me, why don't you go to Canada, Alaska? Like US has so many national parks. And I'm like, I know, they look beautiful, but I don't want to, like, the US is so expensive. Yeah. It's way more affordable going south and travel in Mexico. So I want to be able to travel 6 months instead of one,
Right. Well, even for me, people are like, Nicole, like, you're from the United States. Like, you have these amazing big cities, New York, LA, Miami. Like, why aren't you in the United States? I'm like, the United States is expensive, yo. I will be in South Africa, and I will be there living a more affordable lifestyle. Thank you. Good night.
100%. Choose wisely where you're going to spend your money so it lasts longer.
Yes, exactly. And I think what you just said right there is helpful and connects to our next question, which is from Michaela Sling, who's one of my homegirls in Cape Town, also a super talented photographer. So Michaela's asking, do companies sponsor your travels, or do you travel on your own expense?
Okay, so I travel on my own expense. I've had in my life paid travels, but I prefer traveling on my own expense and working online. Why? Because that way I am free to do whatever I freaking want, whatever I want. Because it's cool to travel when someone takes you because you don't have to pay for anything, but you do have to follow a schedule and you don't have to show what they want to show, right? So I like traveling on my own expense, being free. If I don't want to do anything, don't do anything. If I want to go this, I'll go. And I like working online and trying to figure it out. Like today, I'm gonna work all day, and then I'll have what's tomorrow? Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, kind of free because I cannot disconnect 100%. And then Saturday, I'm gonna work all day, and then have Sunday and Monday, and and kind of free. So that's what I like to do, and that's what has worked for me. But I prefer traveling on my own expense. But if it happens that someone wants to take me, oh, cool, yeah, I'll do it. Why not? But mostly on my own expense because of the freedom. Yeah. When I worked on cruise ships, it was really cool to go to so many places, but I needed to work, you know? So I had 8 hours on the port. So like, boom, 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 so many things to do in the port, and then go back to the cruise ship and work, and then do that the next day. It's so exhausting. You cannot really enjoy and slow travel. And that's, the van has told me that, because this van cannot go faster than 800 kilometers per hour. I don't know about miles, but it's a slow car. So it has taught me to do slow travel and enjoy the moment, rather than being like boom, 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 you know?
Wow. That's super interesting. And again, just like helpful for people to think like, yes, it seems very glamorous to be paid to travel around the world, but there's also that freedom and that flexibility in having your own schedule, which is why you've done such a good job of all your side hustles, right? That make you money so you can travel on your own, right? Whether it's working for Nas Academy, taking pictures for people, the surf photography, travel content, monetizing your pages, like all those things can create this lifestyle for you so that you can travel on your own dime.
Yes, something I wanted to say is that when I was younger, when I was very young, I worked on an agency, and I was a slave, right?
Yeah.
So I promised myself that when I was gonna work, I promised myself three things: that I was not going to work in something that I didn't enjoy, right? That I didn't enjoy. That's why I quit real estate, because I was not enjoying it. Secondly, that it didn't impact people in a good way, in a positive way. And thirdly, that it didn't allow me to travel. So freedom of traveling, positive impact on people, and something that you like on your passion. And that's something that I've been trying to look for, right? So like, I travel online because I have the freedom to move. I take pictures because I really like, and then when I create content, people get inspired. So I try to like that little Cass, like younger Cass, I try to, those three promises, not break them, because I don't want to disappoint that little Cass, you know?
Yeah. And cheers to you for being able to say, this is what I want, this is what I value, this is what's important to me, and I'm going to move forward with it. No matter what, I'm going to stick true to these like three principles that I've decided on. And that takes so much courage and so much bravery to continue to hold that, even when other people are saying, well, you could be making more money doing this, or you could go and do this. And it's like, no, I have the life I want to live, and I'm sticking to it. So I think that's super powerful of you, and I'm glad that you shared that. So thank you, Cass.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my gosh, I know. So I only have one last question. I know you have another call after this, and it's the last question that I would have asked you too. But Sammy Crete, so I think it's one of your students. Sammy is asking, what is next for you, Cass? And I want to know too. So give us all the shout outs, all the pages we should follow, all the plugs. What's next, and how can we, as your friends, as your fans, continue to support you?
Oh, thank you. So I'm trying to do daily vlogs. It's so hard because I'm such in a hectic way, but I'm a little behind, but I'm doing daily vlogs, recording everything. And you can follow me in every social media page as Cass Aragón: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And what's next? Well, I'm going to do all the peninsula, all the way to Tijuana, surfing all the way, trying to make content all the way, and then go back to my hometown to spend the holidays there, like Christmas, and I also have a show, Daddy Yankee. I'm gonna go see Daddy Yankee.
Hey, rompe.
Yeah. So I need to go back to Mexico City for that moment, and then I want to spend like Christmas with my family and in my hometown. And then next year, I might go to Chile for a wedding. I'm not sure, but I want to go. I want to start going down to Costa Rica. That's like the main goal, is to get to Costa Rica, but enjoy all Central America. Like spend a month in Honduras, spend a month in Nicaragua, a month in Salvador, and show people that all these Central American countries are beautiful, and there are, I mean, we see in the news so many bad things from Mexico, and I'm here and I'm like, how people can only see the bad news. So I want to do the same for the Central American countries and show
Yes.
that you can travel to them, through them, and everything. And they're beautiful and they're affordable. And so I want to do that, get all the way to Costa Rica and enjoy the trip. And then I don't know, I'll go with the flow.
Yeah, and then who knows, because you do it all, so who knows like what could be happening next.
And then I might go to the snow because I will get tired from the beach.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna be like making content on a glacier or something.
I'll go to Greenland.
Oh my gosh. Cass, honestly, it's been such a pleasure and such a blessing talking to you and learning more about your story and your background. Your resilience and your sense of self is so inspiring. I hope everybody who's watching this live, everybody who's watching this on YouTube, I hope you took that away from Cass. And if you're not following her on Instagram yet, you must. Instagram, subscribe to her YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, all the things, Cass Aragón. Honestly, you're such a star. And I'm so glad that we finally got to connect this way. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Nikki, for inviting me. Thank you, everyone, for watching here. Like, I feel that time is the most precious thing you can give to someone. So I'm really grateful that everyone is here. And my mom actually commented, and she's like, back to Iceland.
Oh, hi, Mom. Oh, that's so sweet. Yes, Mom. My mom's on the live too. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. All the parents are here. We love these supportive parents. Shout out to our parents who got us here. But
yeah.
Cass, we love you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to NIKKI BANZ Live today. You can follow me on Instagram at They Call Me Bands. I do this every single Tuesday with amazing guests just like Cass. So thank you all. Cass, you're a star. We're going to talk again very, very soon. And just thank you for your energy, for everything today. Mwah,
Thank
mwah,
you,
mwah.
girl. You're amazing. You're amazing. Thank you so much. Everybody, please follow her. Please do.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, babe, I'm going to let you go. Everybody, thank you for being here. This is NIKKI BANZ Live. We'll see you next Tuesday. Adios, mi gente.
Bye.
Bye.